coordination leaves no carbon footprint, but it does cause a cardiac imprint. It touches my heart. All the things I want to say to you at this special moment are to be found in the 34th Psalm. How is it that one psalm can encompass all the things I want to say? Psalm 34 is one of a number of alphabetical psalms to be found alongside chapters and sections in books of the Hebrew Bible like Lamentations and Proverbs. Alphabetical prayers and liturgical poems are to be found throughout our tradition. We confess alphabetically, Ashamnu, Bagadnu, and we digest our Passover meals alphabetically, Adir Hu, Bachur Hu, etc. To write alphabetically is to imply that you are giving an all-encompassing view from A to Z, or to be more correct, to Z, from Alpha to Omega. It's a shorthand for completeness, a catalogue of totality. A, you're adorable. B, you're so beautiful. C, you're a cutie full of charms. But there's a problem. Like another famous alphabetical psalm, the 145th Psalm, which we recite as Ashrei in our regular prayers, this psalm, the 34th, is not complete. There's no verse beginning with one of the letters, in this case, Vav. It's almost as if the message is one of incomplete completeness. Alongside the yearning for totality, there is within the structure of this psalm, within the structure of our tradition, a consciousness of brokenness, which is actually echoed in the content of some of the verses. Karov Adonai lenishberei lev, ve'et dak'ei ruach yoshia. Adonai is near to those who are of a broken heart and saves those who are of a contrite spirit. This double message, completeness and brokenness, the comprehensive and the partial, comes to mind when I think of the privilege of teaching students such as you over these last years. And when I think of what it is you're going to do out in the world. You'll be called upon to demonstrate encyclopedic, all-encompassing, superhuman capacities from birth to death, from morning until night, from west to east, from Aleph to Tav. You will be called upon to serve as a bridge between 3,000 years of tradition and the people you serve. And just in case we're tempted to think of ourselves as the full package, the real deal, we're reminded that our alphabets are incomplete. Our developing rabbinate includes the understanding that incompleteness is a part of our alphabet. Or to quote a famous Hasidic teaching, Ein shalem milev shavur. There's nothing quite so complete as a broken heart. Here are two words I want to emphasize at this special moment as I find them in the 34th Psalm. The first is Aleph, the unvocalized first letter of the Hebrew alphabet. It's there at the start of verse 2. Avarcha et Adonai bechol et, tamid tehilato befi. Scholars of the psalm have noticed that the beginning, middle, and almost the very end of that verse, the one I've just recited, spell out the word Aleph. At the end of the psalm, a verse is added after the alphabet is done, a verse beginning with the letter Pei, Podeh Adonai Nefesh Avadav, etc. As a result, if you look at the beginning, middle, and end of the entire psalm, a word is spelled out by the first letters of each verse. That word is Aleph. There's the Aleph we speak explicitly, but there is also the Aleph that underlies all we say and we do. The word Aleph in Aramaic and cognate languages bears a meaning of teaching and learning. That's where the word ulpan comes from. I want to encourage you to work hard and diligently every day on your alphabet. Behind every aleph you pronounce in a sermon or class, in a pastoral setting or a ceremony, may the unspoken aleph, the spiritual and intellectual preparation you need to do, always be present. There will be times when you are winging it, when you are bluffing. I speak from deep personal experience. We've all been there. But the sacred trust of the rabbinate should mean that you'll be honest enough to tell yourself when this is happening, and motivated enough to find the time to work on your alphabet, to practice even the aleph that nobody gets to hear. We need to acknowledge that the word aleph can also imply control, manipulation, exploitation. The Hebrew title for Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew is Iluf HaSoreret. At this moment of hasmacha, of ordination, I am very conscious of the fact that we all need to confront the hidden aleph within us and to remain ever vigilant that it is an aleph of learning and achievement, not an aleph of abuse of power and exploitation. Your aleph, your driving commitment, can be summarized in another of the verses of the 34th Psalm, one recited as the Torah is taken out from this and other arcs. Gadlu l'Adonai iti uneromemah shemo yachdav. Big up God with me, and let's exalt God's name together. How can we exalt God's name? Or if you like, how can we hold up that which we hold dearest and that which matters most? And how can we do it yachdav, together? That's a big question you're going to have to grapple with in the years to come. The second word in Psalm 34 that I want to emphasize is ta'am. It means reason, flavor, taste, experience, and also vocalization. Ta'amei hamikra tell us how to pronounce the letters of the text and bring them to life. Verse 9 reads, Ta'amu uru'u, ki tov Adonai. Taste and see, for Adonai is good. Taste and see, experience and consider. The word ta'am also features prominently in the very first verse of our psalm. Le David beshanoto et ta'amo. To David as he changed his ta'am. What does that mean? Some relate this expression to an episode in the first book of Samuel in which David changes his behavior. At this moment of your ordination, I read this opening dedication of the psalm as a dedication to you. You've learned an alphabet of texts and ceremonies, of techniques and skills, of sensibilities and sensitivities. Now each one of you will set off to your various destinations and give this alphabet a new ta'am, a new vocalization. May the coming years bring ample opportunity to learn and to relearn your alphabets of meaning, comprehensive, yet not offering a false promise of totality. I predict that the way you pronounce each of your alphabets will change over time. Beshanoto et ta'amo. Ours is an alphabet of change and of development and of growth. I want to conclude my brief reflections with a charge which comes, surprisingly, from this 34th Psalm. Who is the person who desires life and loves days to see good within them? Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking guile. Stay far from evil, do good, seek peace, and pursue it. It's hard to recite those words of seeking peace here in this place, in this city of Jerusalem, at a particularly sensitive and difficult time. I'm reminded that Rashi teaches on this verse, seek peace bimkomcha, in your place where you are, and pursue it b'makom acher, in another place, beyond your current field of vision. May your lips pronounce in new ways your alphabets of meaning, your Torah of peace. Mi ha'ish hechafetz chayim ohev yamim lirot tov netzor leshoncha meira usfatecha midaber mirma sur mera v'aseh tov bakesh shalom verodfehu. From this place, from Jerusalem, I send you respect, affection, admiration, support, congratulations, and love from Aleph to Tav.